What's up, everybody? It's your boy Officer D, back with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about what we see somebody's yelling over there.
Charlie ATC.
Hold on. All right, y'all, we're back. Quick recap on that. I hear somebody yelling. I go across the street to go see who it is. Another officer's already out there. He heard the same person yelling. We get there and it's this chick that we deal with all the time, because we have to involuntarily commit her quite often, and she always puts up a fight. But we get out there with her and she's F you, I don't need your help, F that. So, all right, trying to help you. But anyway, today we're gonna talk about what we see whenever we run tags, or just the system that we have in the car here at my department. I try to show y'all that stuff. Obviously, I can't show y'all my screen. I'm looking that stuff up. So what I did was I searched the internet to try to find some picture of our system to share with y'all. So to start off, every department typically uses their own system. They don't have to all use the same system, right? Each department will have their own reporting system. So the things they use to take reports on, more than likely, they're all to be different. Now, the area that I'm in right now, most of us all use the same software, or we're using the same software. My department recently upgraded softwares this year. So everybody else is still using the old software, but we got this new one that we're using now, which I'm guessing everybody else would eventually upgrade. They still all talk to each other, like they could transfer calls between each other, stuff like that. They all can do basically the same thing, just about. We can type reports in our car. We can do the accident reports in our car, search tags, look up people's names, stuff like that. Now, this program that I'm going to show allows us to do everything, just about everything, except search warrants. The state that I'm in does not put the warrants into, I don't know why it can't be integrated, but some reasons I integrate into this system. So we can look up most stuff, but then we have to go to another software to look up if you have a warrant or not, unless your warrant is entered into NCIC. Now, NCIC is a federal database that every officer in the country can look at and determine if you have a warrant or not. It lists a lot of different stuff, but basically if you have a warrant or not, it'll be entered into NCIC, and everybody can see that. Not all warrants are entered. My department only enters felony warrants into that database. So all your misdemeanor crap, that won't be entered. You have to check our other software thing that the state runs through that. For future reference as well, if you see NCIC, we use that as somewhat of like an overall term, but whenever we run something through NCIC, it comes back several different things, right? So if I run your tag or your name through NCIC, several things are going to get returned. Let me pull it up here. I'll go off the list. See the last name I ran. So if I run the tag, it usually comes back in this order. The state's DMV system will come back. Okay, it'll tell us their name, the tag, status, the address of the person, stuff like that. They got insurance, stuff like that. The next thing will come back is if that vehicle is stolen or not, and that would also be entered in NCIC. NCIC allows you to enter in stolen property as well, and that can be seen by anybody with NCIC access, so that's all over the country, any law enforcement agency. So it also check, what screen is this? It's weird because if the screen doesn't have anything on it, like if there's no return, it'll just show a screen that just says no record. Then it'll come back the driver's license system. The first page was the vehicle registration system. This next page that comes back to us is your actual driver's license. It'll show the driver's license information for the first registered owner of the car. There's 2 registered owners, it'll only show that first one. You have to run the SAC one by yourself. Then it'll show the Department of Corrections file. If that person has a Department of Corrections file, it'll show up here. So probation, if they're in prison, stuff like that, it'll all show up and tell you. Basically, I feel like this is just one waste of a page. It doesn't really tell anything other than their discharge date. The next page will be if they have a concealed handgun permit. I believe that's actually through NCIC, so anybody can look that up. I'm not sure. I don't think that's a county thing or something like that. But the next page we'll be checking for warrants. And then sex offender registry will also show up. There's sex offender, it'll show up here. There's 2 sex offender pages. One's for the state And then another is for NCIC, so that's your federal thing. I'm not really sure how that works. I guess some people are entered into the state one and not the federal one, or some people will be federal and not entered into your state if they're from out of state somewhere. And another page that will show up is a local file for you. So a local file is every police department would have a local database, like I said, of their reports, right? And you also have a local database of all the arrests that your officers made in your department. Well, a screen will pop up showing someone's local file with us. So it only shows the arrests that we made on that person, or any contacts at all that we've made on that person. That is not something that somebody in another city can see. That's just for this city. And I also can't see if someone was contacted in another city using this software. It is just for this city. So out of all those returns, notice none of that comes back your criminal history, unless your criminal history is only in the city that I'm in right now. In order to do an official criminal history report, we would have to go back to the police department and run it on select terminals that allow it to be ran on. And that's usually done by our PIT people, and that's police information technicians, and they're 24/7 in that office. Every department will be different, so they'll have different names for whoever does that task. But especially an NCIC terminal that has to be ran 24 hours a day if you have NCIC. And I believe the only reason that we can't do it inside of the car is because of money. I think money plays a big part of this whole like package thing. There's some cities next to us who don't even have NCIC access in their cars, which I found to be weird. But they don't have NCIC access in their cars at all. They'd have to call in over the radio in order to get a response of any DMV inquiries or anything like that. That all goes back to just money, if you're willing to pay for the NCIC access. All right, so I'm gonna pop up some screens real quick to show basically what I see. All right, so this first screen I'm popping up right now is the home screen. Now this one it's showing to be in a web browser. Ours isn't in a web browser, it's like an actual application. However, it still is web-based, it's just not displayed in a web browser. So if you see at the top, those top icons up there, you got your route button, your off button, location change, clear. That's all the stuff related to your calls. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You hit a route when you get the call. When you get the call, that dispatch button right there, it'll light up green like that. What I like about this program is that you can set it basically the preference of what you want. So if you get dispatched to a call, you can set it to just light up green like that, or you can set it up to go ahead and go to that screen automatically when you get a call. I have mine to automatically go to that screen. And that's a user preference. It's not a preference that your department has to set up. You can do that on your own. And then the unit status screen is the F5 screen, which is what you're seeing right there, right now. This is showing every unit that's currently in the system right now that's signed on, and every call that they're on. So you have the unit, your beat, the call number, the status, the time, the nature, and the location of the call. You slide over to that scroll bar, you slide over, it'll show the officer's name. What else would it show? Let me see. The officer's name and whatever beat the call is in. I think at the bottom, that area is clear on their screen. It's always something on ours. That's your holding calls. All your holding calls that are waiting to be dispatched will show down there. So if you do go to the side, you'll see plate check. That's typically the screen that my computer stays on. It's just a pop-up box that shows up ready for you to type in a plate. You'll see out of service available, transport, BOLO entry, and miscellaneous log. Those are configurable. The order I have mine in on the side, I have plate check, I have RMS name, and RMS name is our record management system. So like I said, the local database for our department allows us to search the name through the system. So I have that right there to look up somebody's local file for us. After that, I have a thing called My Last 12 Hours. It shows all the calls I've been on in the last 12 hours. You can also change how many hours you want to go back to whenever you do that as well. And that's just beneficial if you're writing a report, you're trying to look up information that was in a call note, something like that. It's beneficial to go back and look at the call notes, so just to see whatever calls you've been on. Next is location check. Allows you to type in the location so you can see the past calls at that place. Then I got held calls, which is just a screen that's at the bottom down there. It just shows up full screen. And then out of service. So I just hit that and go out of service. We keep going. The F7 screen is your messages screen that allows you to send messages between officers. The F8 screen is your NCIC screen. So hitting that will take you to being able to search the people, the vehicles. See what all you can search with NCIC. See, drivers, wanted people, vehicles, guns, articles, boats, securities, missing persons, stuff like that. So all that will be in NCIC that allows you to search. Next screen is your map screen. The F10 is your self-initiated screen, which allows you to make a call through the system without sending it over the radio. Your F11 is your CAT screen. That allows you to look up basically calls for dispatch. So look up previous calls, held calls, your last 12 hours, people that are currently working in the city right now, the phone directory for the people in your department, and it'll show units out of service. The MFR screen is your reporting system. So, or is our reporting system. So that's where you go to type your incident report, stuff like that at. Then favorites and the menu. The menu allows us to customize, like this screen right here. Menu just displays everything in one thing, and it allows you to customize the system even more. So when you receive a call, this is what we see. Now this car is not comfortable. All right. So this screen right here is our dispatch screen. This is what we see when we get sent the call. So notice it says at that top thing, it says the nature. That'll be the nature of the call. The street, it'll give the cross streets. If it's a business name, it'll list that. The units responding. On top of that was the name of the person who called and their phone number. We don't utilize radio channel, but in the notes. And one thing I like about this system is the map, right? The map is Google Maps. And what's cool about that is that you can actually, hold on. All right, so look at this. So let's say we're giving a call out here to 1009 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C., right? Now, it'll plot just like this on the map. And, I mean, just about all, like your CAD maps will do that. However, let's say we need to make a tactical approach to this house for some reason. This system allows us to just go ahead while we're on the way there to see what's around this place. I mean, just like Google Maps would. And yeah, we could go to Google Maps, but it's just convenient to have this already here, see? And then to be able to do all the functionality of Google in the system already. So if we needed to see like what's around here, how can we make our tactical approach? And it's just a random address I just came up with out of the blue. But like if it was a house, you'll be able to see where the driveway was, stuff like that. So you can see exactly what approach will be best to get to the house. And that's beneficial because it can be done while on your way to a call. The other cool thing about the map is that we're able to see where every officer in the city is on the map. Unfortunately, they don't have a screen, like I can't find a screen online that shows what this system's NCIC page looks like. However, I did find one that kind of shows what our old system NCIC page looks like. It's kind of like this. So this is something I found online. It's not exactly how our response will come back. But notice on this page right here, right, what's outlined, it says there are 5 other pages of information related to this case. So when I was telling you that every page comes back, they come back like that. On that blue thing on the side, that number will continue to go up with however many pages of information it has for us to check out. Whenever you're ready to go to the next page, you can either hit next, your arrow key, or just tap on that, and it'll cycle you through all the pages. The benefits of having this system look up your local information and display all this stuff together is because what we do is we add alerts to people's files, right? So let's say you fought with us before. What we do is when we get you back to the police department, we'll add an alert to your file to say may resist, or maybe aggressive, or You know, if it's a drug arrest, previous drug history, something like that. And it's just an alert that stands out. So whenever you look at your file and say, let's say you would get a call and says you're about to deal with John Doe. And we're on the way to that call. We type in John Doe. We're looking at the record. The first thing that pops up is going to be your name, your address, and then those alerts. Those alerts will read aggressive, may run and hide, may fight, may resist, stuff like that. That just puts you in the mindset to know what you're about to deal with. Yeah, so that's our system. Every police department will have their own, you know, software package they use. Typically, your area police departments will typically, I think, use the same software just because it's easier to communicate and transfer stuff to each other. But everyone uses different things. They all use their own record management system, so they all do their own incident reports. I can't just go into this system and look up incident report from the neighboring city. And they can't do the same for us. I can look up our own, but I can look up theirs. So whenever you call, you're like, hey, I took out a report in so-and-so city, and I want you to look it up. It's on file. Yeah, it's on file with them. It's not on file with us. I can't look that up. There is a software that exports all of our stuff. And then I think everybody, not even everybody in the state, it's like everybody, whoever signs up for this thing, it's like a whole country database where we can go on and view each other's incident reports. And some people allow the incident reports to be viewed, some don't. But what it allows us to do is, let's say you give me a name and I type in your name in here and we have no local file for you, right? That's a red flag already for me. I'll go to this software, type in your name, and it's searching the whole country. Like I said, it's not NCIC. It's searching just local data from different police departments who've elected to use this software. But that's beneficial because you're telling me you're from wherever, and if they are on that software, I can look you up. And if you don't got a file with them either, then I know you're lying about your name. That's really beneficial. I like that. Bringing it all back, recapping everything. Everybody uses different software, okay? We don't have access to see another jurisdiction's reports. I like the system that we use. I like that the fact that we're able to do our reports in the car. I know some departments don't allow their officers to do the reports in the car. You have to go to the police department and use whatever software they got. I like that our stuff is all integrated together. I do wish that we could see warrants without having to go into an entirely different system just to see the warrants. You get used to it. I got used to it. I think that's everything. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to the video, leave a comment. Let me know what you want the next video to be about. A lot of information. Just trying to figure out what information to put out. What do y'all want to know about? If you're in the process of going through getting hired with an agency or going through the academy somewhere, let me know. Adios, amigos.